Unstoppable pivot footwork is one of the biggest missing things in a lot of players' games, and I'm not just talking about post players, also players on the perimeter, because you use pivots a lot more than you probably even realize. And if you can master moves off of them both in the paint and on the perimeter, it's going to give you a lot more options to literally help you explode your scoring in minutes. So everything I'm going to give you in this video could be applied by the rim and also done on the perimeter. If you watch the best players like Kobe, Jordan, Kyrie, Curry, LeBron, Durant, name the player, and they are great with pivot moves. Who do you think is the best player of all time with their pivot footwork? Leave me a comment and let me know. The good news is if you follow the tips I'm going to give you in this video, you can add all this stuff to your game in seconds. And be sure you stay tuned to the very end of the video, because at the very end I'm going to give you 5 more nasty moves that you can use to score around the rim. There's some advanced types of layups. Coach Jesse Muench with Get Handles Basketball, where we train harder and smarter so you can play like the pros. If that's something you're looking to do, subscribe and click that bell icon to catch the newest videos. So before we go into the specific moves, a couple things to keep in mind. Whenever you catch the basketball, try to land on both feet. So that gives you the option to have either pivot foot. That's number 1. Number 2, as you're going through this video, keep in mind, I'm going to show you everything with just one of the feet doing the pivoting. You'll want to work on everything with both feet. So you might want to go back through this video and watch everything and kind of work through doing it with the other pivot foot. But most players tend to have a dominant foot. For me, I'm a lefty. I like to step with my right foot for a lot of my jab steps, but I like to pivot on that foot and have my left foot doing the work when I'm doing a lot of my pivot stuff. If you're a righty, it's probably the exact opposite. So you want to make sure you're getting both feet down as your pivot foot and as your jab foot. So now you got all kinds of options that weren't there for you before to score more points. Click that like button if those tips help, and leave a comment, say this helps. Now let's jump into the first move. Okay, this first move is crazy versatile. I'm gonna show you a couple different ways you can do it, and all the other moves too, so you have ways of using it on the perimeter, off the dribble, from triple threat, and also by the rim. So it's the half spin. So to do it off the dribble, you're gonna pull the ball back, whichever hand's dribbling, pull that foot back, and then from there, you can gather the basketball as you're coming back forward. So you sold the fake this way to your defender, gather it, come back forward, and go right into the shot. You can do this right by the rim. Also, as a post move, to go into the shot. But then there's some other options you've got. You could come from this half spin, and you could blow by your defender, right? You could come from this half spin and go into a crossover, right? Or you can do all this stuff in the paint and on the perimeter from holding the basketball in triple threat, pulling back, and then coming here. Now you have a couple other options. Because now from this, you can, of course, still go right into that shot, but you've also got your option of going into that shot fake and then driving left or driving to the right. Same thing in the paint. You could pivot, pump fake, come to the other side of the rim, lay another dribble down, do some other pivots from there. Same thing from on the perimeter. You could come here, and you don't have to go right in that shot, right? You could come back here and then decide to go into an actual spin move dribble. So it opens up a ton of options, and as you can see, there's a ton you can do from it. But you've got to take the time to practice this stuff. It's easy to look at it and just be like, well, I'm just holding the ball and I'm just moving my foot. But when I work with a lot of players, I see they're not really crisp with these things and quick. And the other thing to keep in mind is you're not facing the rim. So when you're trying to go into shots and drives, you got to get your body oriented and aligned for those shots. So it takes repetition to get that side of things down. Next option you might think is just a post player thing, but this is also a guard thing. And it's when your back is to the basket and you catch the basketball. So obviously in the post this happens a lot, but also for guards. Sometimes you're cutting up. If you're running like motion offense, you're going to come up, and a lot of times you're going to catch the basketball here. And you got to do some sort of a pivot to face to the hoop, right? Another scenario would be even more of a side screen, right? You're not facing the hoop, so you're going to have to pivot in. So for all these scenarios, you want to work on your ability to pivot to face towards your defender this way, and also to face towards your defender this way. Something that you have to practice, and if you mix it up and catch with both hands, so I can come from this way one time, and the next time I can catch and turn this way, that's going to make things a lot more difficult for your defender because they don't know which way you're coming. But you got to take the time to practice going both ways. You probably have a dominant foot you're more comfortable with. But from this, once again, just like the half spin, you've got all those same options. You can shoot, you can drive, or you can drive in the other direction. Two biggest keys I can give you on this is switch up which side you're turning to so your defender can't predict it as easily. And then number two, if they're playing you tight, try to feel where they are on you. If you feel them more to this side, then pivot here where there's more space. If they're more to this side, pivot this way where there's more space. If you do that by the rim, you'll get a lot of easy little bank shots off. And even out from 15 feet, maybe even out to three-point land if you have good range, you'll be able to get a lot of wide open jump shots and easy drives to the basket. Next move is a classic, and there's two kind of slight variations of it. It's the dream shake, or what I call the guard dream shake. Some people call it the rondo. It's basically a slight difference. All we're gonna do is for this one, you're gonna pivot in towards the basket. So it's kind of like a half spin from here on out, but the setup is different. So what we're gonna do for this one is, if my right hand has the basketball, I'm gonna step across with the left foot. And you can do this from a dribble drive. Rondo will do this a lot, and step in. Or Hakeem Olajuwon used to do a fake where he would just be here and he would literally just step in. Both of them though from there are gonna be the same. You're gonna show the basketball to get the defender to jump. I don't know why, because you're not really faking towards the rim, but since you show the ball, a lot of times defenders are gonna jump in the air, and then from there you're gonna pivot back around, and a lot of times you'll get easy shots. So you can do this in the post, holding the basketball and going right into a bank, or driving to the rim. You could go off the dribble, show, come around. And if you'll notice, I'm basically moving in a circle. I'm coming here with this foot and then coming back all the way around to complete that circle to get the shot off on this side. Next move is great for freeing up space, and it's a little bit craftier. You're gonna use this one once again if you're catching the basketball with your back to the basket. Again, you could do this in the post or on the perimeter or facing more sideways in the sideline. And all you're gonna do from this is, instead of pivoting forward with one of your 2 feet, you're gonna pivot back, and what that's gonna do is clear out some space. So if your defender's playing you tight, you can use this leg here to kind of clear some space, keep the ball tight as you're sweeping through. From there, a lot of times you'll clear up enough space to get an easy shot off. Or sometimes you'll get your defender trying to recover, realizing you created that space, and if they're too far this way, you just drive this way. Too far this way, drive this way. Simple options. And then the last move is really crafty. We're gonna mix together that dream shake or the rondo guard dream shake, and then that last back pivot that I just showed you in a way that's gonna be really unexpected. So the setup is gonna basically be that dream shake. So you can come off the dribble and do this. You can do this even more on the perimeter out here at 15 feet, maybe even all the way up to three-point line. And again, you can do this right by the rim. Show the basketball, and you don't have to necessarily show it on this one if you wanna make things a little bit quicker and tighter. But from there, instead of pivoting around here, you're gonna come from this and just pivot back. And that's gonna allow you to get into that shot a little quicker, number one. But number two, it'll also help you clear out a little space. So the other one's more of an evasive. You got your defender coming this way and you're separating to come this way. Whereas this one, we're coming here and we're using this to get into our shot quicker, but also potentially clear out space if they're tight to us yet. The other thing I like about this is, since we're facing forward, it's easier to get our eyes locked in on the rim and get a little bit higher percentage shot. So all you're gonna do again is pivot forward and then pivot back with that same foot. This YouTube video's got the 5 advanced layups that I promise you that'll help you take your scoring to the rim next level. If this video helped, click the like button, the subscribe button, and the bell icon to catch the newest videos, and I will see you in that video next.